workshop is starting, and we have our 6 projects here that are invited to the session. And I will start with my project, the project that I'm coordinator of, LEGOFIT, and let's go on. So LEGOFIT is the project for positive energy positive homes, actually, and it aims to design, implement, and validate an adaptable and dynamic integration approach to accomplish energy positive homes. We are considering renovation projects and also new constructions in the project. And we are 19 partners representing 10 countries and 5 demo sites, 5 pilots that's going to implement, design and implement energy positive homes in 4 years. We are considering making energy positive homes in new constructions and renovations, and integration of active and passive technology strategies, and also nature-based solutions with smart tech in BIM environment. And we would like to minimize the environmental impact through smart reuse and recycling as well in the project, and engage, of course, with building occupants during all the process, and promote local funding and renewable energy and MBS. And of course, like every project, we would like to enhance the replicability and scalability of energy positive homes, and develop a residential building logbook as well. So as I said, we are trying to design and develop positive energy positive homes in 5 physical real settings: Spain, Valladolid, in Turkey, Istanbul, and Luxembourg, Betzdorf, also in Netherlands, Montalvillo, and Hungary, Pech. So we also, of course, have several different impacts that are aimed to be reached, hopefully, at the end of the project, in terms of technical, social, economic, environmental, circularity, and regulatory as well. So let's see if we can achieve them. And we would like to also define a framework from positive energy blocks to positive energy districts as well in the project, because we considered positive energy homes as blocks at the beginning of the project, but then by the help of replication, we would like to replicate the results to the district scale. So thank you so much. And so for the pitches of our sister projects, I would like to start with the project that I'm also involved in as a replicator leader. We have Cecilia here from Cecilia, from Cardiff, and she's the coordinator of Natural Path project as well as the PEDs development. But today, Making City actually is the first runner positive energy district project funded by the EC, so it's now the concept is evolving more into positive clean energy districts. That was also the paper presentation before this session as well. Anyways, today Cecilia will focus on the Making City project results, which are already in the operation stage because the project is about to end in a couple of months. So Cecilia, please.
Thank you very much for the.
You can stand if you like.
Okay, for the it's no. Okay.
But you just need to
okay, don't worry.
Slides, okay?
Okay.
I can try to see.
Thank you very much for this. Hello everybody. Just as Cecilia has mentioned, I'm coordinating Making City. It's one of the two first positive energy districts launched through the European Commission. It's focused on the demonstration at city level of the PEDs. When this project started, nothing about PEDs appears before. We had to define what exactly was the PED, what we understood, and how we could calculate this energy balance and the energy question. And for this, we have created during this almost 6 years guidelines for helping others to implement this PED, guidelines for calculating this balance. So it's having useful for the following projects and the next one, and different tools during the project for helping other cities to do the same, or at least to try to give them opportunities or see how they are prepared for achieving the plan. In this framework, we have future house cities, Groningen in Netherlands and Malmö in Finland. In these cities, we have implemented PEDs here that will help other cities inside the project for getting knowledge and these solutions for being implemented. And there are our 6 follower cities. We have Bassano del Grappa in Italy, Carico in Turkey, Leon in Spain, Lublin in Poland, sorry, Trenčín, okay, thank you, Trenčín in Slovakia, and Vidin in Bulgaria. And this, with these 6 followers, we have analyzed the possibilities of implementing the PED, designing it, and calculating it. So with these results, we are just ending the project, and we will use for the rest. And I have to choose with these 2 different lighthouses. We have 3 PEDs, mix of buildings, residential buildings, and tertiary, mix of solutions that could, we will have reached us to have a positiveness, and choosing 2 solutions maybe the more relevant for those cities. I could mention that in Growing on the Solar Footpath introduced the cleanest questions in our production of energy. We use waste plastic for the tiles, the solar tiles, and we have integrated also not only the structures of the building, the parts around the building to connect with the energy producing in the building. So this has been a very good achievement to integrate all of the things into cities, and positive cities maybe there. And in Oulu, I would like to mention also thinking in the replicability why that has this solution. They have introduced more dealings in the district energy consumption using the return of the district heating and increasing these heat possibilities with heat pumps connected to PV solutions. So the integration of these equipments inside the existing whereas rooms has been very, very good achievement. And we have also this solution integrated in a school, and with information through this school, we have engaged the community for the knowledge of this solution. So this would be enough for my side. I could pause the floor, or maybe you introduce.
Thank you, Cecilia. Okay, our second project is Rent Plus Homes. Actually, our exactly the sister project of LEGOFIT. And I would like to invite Laura Borda from RINA, coordinator of the Rent Plus Homes. And they are focusing also on energy positive homes, and so residentials at positive energy block scale, maybe. And our project almost started a year and a half ago. So I think Laura will mostly focus on the design stage. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, good morning, everyone. Good to be here. Today I will give you a brief presentation of the RAM Plus Home project, of which Rina is the coordinator, not actually myself, but my colleague Margherita, but still I will give you some insights. Compared to the other projects presented today, the focus here is not the district, positive energy district, but the positive energy buildings. Of course, similar challenges, but we have different constraints. So, the major goal of REM Plus Homes is to develop a methodology to reach the positive energy condition inside the building. This methodology is that is currently under development, actually, is universal. So starting from the national regulations, we then develop national methodologies, and then we try to have another methodology that can be applied at a larger scale. Of course, the end goal here is to reduce the carbon emissions and at the same time addressing resource scarcity and energy poverty. If you reduce the energy demands and the energy consumptions of a building, you therefore reduce the energy costs, and then you try to work also on energy poverty. So here in REM Plus Homes, we have a wide range of technologies and solutions that we are currently developing or testing. They are both hardware and software technologies, since in order to reach the positive energy condition, we need to focus on both aspects, let's say. And not all of them are innovative, let's say, because some of them are actually off-the-shelf technology, but what is the innovation and the benefit comes from the synergies between these technologies put together inside the building as a technology package. As hardware technologies, for example, we are focusing on developing a geothermal wall, or we are working on the waste heat recovery from the shower system. For software solutions, for example, we are working on development of a BMS, so a building manager system. And then we have the seven methodologies, circular plus energy homes methodologies, so 6 national ones, take into account the national regulations and the local framework, regulation framework, and then the universal one. Then all these solutions and the methodologies are built on top of the 4 pilot sites of the project. 2 of them, so the Austrian and the Spanish one, take into account newly constructed buildings, whereas the other ones, the Estonian and the Romanian one, are buildings that are currently under renovation. This is done to ensure that we take into account the variety of the European built environment, since not all buildings are new and have the efficient performances of newly constructed buildings, but we have to take into account the old buildings and their constraints as well. As challenges that we are facing or that we foresee that we are going to face before the end of the project, which started a little more over a year now, is of course the scaling up from the building level to a PED level, which you will tell me more about, of course. Of course, increasing the scale and increasing the number of buildings introduces more complexity that has to be managed, and therefore the systems and the solutions need to be more sophisticated. And as I would say in all projects, we have the user engagement part, which is never enough, and never, even if you try to focus as much as you can at proposal stage, then there's always more to be done. We try to co-create the solutions with the end user to understand their needs and to make sure that they understand the benefits of the solutions, but it's not straightforward. That's about it. Thank you.
So, okay, thank you, Laura, for the presentation. And I would like to go on with a project that I'm also involved in, PEDACT, and I would like to invite Tintin Zhang from the Larnaca University coordinator of PEDACT. This project is funded in another program. It's the JPI Urban Europe's PED program, and it's mostly focusing on the digitalization of PEDs, actually creating digital PEDs, and contributing to the common PED database as well. So Tintin, please, could you stand more to the camera, because the camera, yeah, so could you please stand to the computer?
Okay.
Yeah, here, but more close to the computer.
Okay. More in depth. Okay. Good morning, everyone. So my name is Sanz. I'm professor in energy technology from Larnaca University. So I'm happy here to share some thoughts about the PEDACT projects. So PEDACT has been we're finishing now 2 years, so we still have 1 year to go. So basically, you can see from the title. So we're most focus on the digitalization of PED, but also meanwhile using AI for PED. So we have 4 tasks basically in the project. It's, as Beril mentioned, it's funded by JPI in Europe. Now it's called DUT. So it's a smaller scale project, so we can't really have so many real demonstration. But we are starting from the first task called co-development of the common database of PED together with cross-section PED Ethernet. So our main task to try to visualize and also of the database, but also meanwhile try to make a more in-depth analysis of the data. And the second task for us, we try to apply AI for characterization of PED. So mostly we use natural language processing. So basically we try to search and all the documents available online and available from all the projects that are ongoing, and also for those who finished already. So we try to characterize in the PED by also abstracting the most important elements from PED. So basically we have different subcategories over there. And the third task is try to, of course, develop the digital models for 5 cities. So in this project, we have 5 cities that are following. So we created already 5 models, 2 in Sweden and 2 in Turkey, and also 1 in Austria. And last, of course, is Laura just mentioned, some cooperation and also stakeholder engagement, never enough. So because of a shortage of the time, I just introduce the main findings from this project. One of the main findings that we found is that we try to create some pathway to evaluate or existing pet district to become a pet or not. Of course, there's many aspects we have to consider. I mean, we talked a lot already in this conference, starting from the renovation and also different solutions, but also consider also life cycle emissions and also economics. So that's the most important parts. But meanwhile, we have to consider also the synergies from the system or energy infrastructures already over there. Like if you have any waste heat or if you have any available solar resources around. So final scope, of course, is try to do optimization. That's something that we started from this project. I mean, we do a lot of calculation, but we certainly do optimization by set up different objectives. So, but our conclusion, at least for us, this is one Swedish demo case. So we feel that, of course, from a technical point of view, yes, it can be a pet for this district, but from an economic or environmental point of view, we cannot achieve that at the moment because a lot of barriers and challenges that we can discuss later on. Well, challenges, yeah. So, I mean, there's more because of this project. We've been working with the different funding agencies. So, like for the Turkish partner, we have a delayed funding that will also affect the teamwork. And there should be a continuous passion and interest to work together with the municipality to co-create the pet, because you really develop a pet is a long progress. So it doesn't really realize 1 or 2 years. It could be 10 years or even 15 years. So this is something we have to be bear in mind. So it's a long journey together. Yeah, and also for data. So this is also really a challenge. Either you get a really delay from the data acquisition, or you have a different methodology to develop the data. And then it's hard really to optimize. So that's a really practical challenge. I mean, we talked a lot about digital models already this morning or yesterday's, but then it should have a common data sets for us to work on that. Yeah, another, I think, practical challenge we found is that we have several contact persons from the municipality, but then after 1 or 2 years, they change the position, and then we have to do that again. So it's not reliable in that process. But anyway, I think that's if you're from the right, you can see also with this something we call a manifesto. So this is something we are trying to call for participation from this project. So you can easily try to see from this printed version how to achieve PED, why PED is important. So hopefully you can join us. So thanks, I think.
Thank you so much, Cincin. Next project, I would like to invite Lorena Sanchez-Lerano from Interpet, R2M, and coordinator of the Interpet project. It's also a kind of a mission call, I think, funded under mission call, and focusing on the digitalization part of the post-financial districts. It's a very new project, just started this year, and these are the newest one in our workshop today. So I think we will more listen to the proposed impacts of the project net now. Thank you.
Well, as Beril just said, I'm Lorena Sanchez. I'm Interpret Project Manager, and together with Roy Stirling, we are coordinating the project from R2M Solution Spain. As Beril mentioned, and opposite to the other projects that are presented today, we just started in January, so only 9 months for project so far. It has 3 years of duration. Well, so the things we'll see today are more potential challenges because we are currently running on the characterization phase of the pilots. So the main objective of Interpet is to deploy a cloud-based solution that enhances sector coupling and demand flexibility, integrating these ICT systems in positive energy districts. These solutions will be tested in 4 different pilots. So we'll try to demonstrate a large-scale validation. These 4 pilots are distributed in the UK, Ecovillage Findhorn in Scotland, in San Sebastian, Basque Country in Spain, Arena Innovation Community, Switzerland, and last but not least, Albaile municipality in Romania. So the idea is to target 30% of unlock in demand flexibility in all these pilots throughout the whole projects. Also, the idea is that to increase the impact of the project, to look for some follower communities before the project ends, so that once the project has finished, we are able to replicate the solution that has been created for Interped in further places and districts. So, when it comes to the innovative aspect, I would like to highlight that in this project in Interped, these cloud-based solutions has like 7 different components or tools, we could say. We can classify them in 3 different categories. So we have a cross-vector planning toolbox and cross-vector optimization at the technical level. The idea of cross-vector planning toolbox is to allow to integrate different types of energy in order to be able to integrate this in the urban planning scale and distribute it in an effective way with the cross-vector optimization. Then, also for belonging to this technical scale, we have the predictive data analytics for demand flexibility. The idea of this tool is to improve the forecast for renewables, and all these tools will allow to improve at a whole the integration and interoperability of the system and the positive energy district. Then, on a more social landscape, we would say, we have the active community participation in demand response. So the idea is to involve the community also in the design phase, because in this way they can validate or test that the solution we are creating can fit it in their daily routine. And in addition to this, we are going to try to involve them in peer-to-peer trading tools. So the idea is to implement also in these tools machine learning and artificial intelligence systems, including things such as blockchain. Finally, we have also the life cycle assessment. This is an environmental and economic tool, we could say, because the idea is that with this tool, it will be able to evaluate both environmental impact through life cycle assessment and of the whole technology, and also the cost of the technology implementing the life cycle cost assessment. So, finally, if we want to go to the value proposition of Interped or some of the benefits it generates, well, first of all, the implementation and the deployment of renewables allows to reduce reliance on fossil fuels and greenhouse gas emissions. Because of the tools we mentioned before, especially in the technical landscape, we are allowing to increase energy security and independence for cities. And the fact of also involving residents as prosumers, making them generators, not only consumers of energy, allow to lower energy costs for them and also for businesses. Well, as I said before, the fact of involving them also in these design states enables to engage and empower communities and citizens, making them active participants of the energy transition. So they are going to become main actors, not only spectators, we'll say. So just to finish the presentation, as I said, we are in the first stage of the project, so we don't have like proper results, but some of the potential challenges we can already identify due to the pilot characterization phase we're undergoing now is that we would probably have like some difficulties engaging users. Also, we know that there are still issues transposing European regulation to national regulations, As I said, we have 4 different pilots, and the nature of each pilot is very different. Finally, because of all the technical constraints we could have with these ICT tools, we are foreseeing also challenges with the system interoperability. So, well, just a summary of all the consortium. I think I forgot to mention at the beginning that we are 14 partners from 7 different countries. So thank you very much to all for your attention.
Thank you, Lorena. And yes, we go on with Julia Schlisauf from Sparks Projects, and she's the project manager of in the digital city unit in the city of Leipzig. So we have a city representative here representing a lighthouse city in Sparks project, and the project has already just finished this month. Actually, in 2 days, 3 days is finishing. So I think it's a very valuable moment now for learning the lessons learned. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the introduction. Yeah, I'm a little bit jealous of you that your project started, because we have 5 days left. And so I will talk about our lessons learned in Sparks. Now I'm presenting much more the focus of the Leipzig lighthouse city. So in Sparks we are much more cities. So there's also Espoo as a lighthouse cities and 5 other. Oh, yes. Okay. And 5 other cities from Europe. Our goal is also to develop PEDs. And yes, so I go on. In Leipzig, we have 3 demonstration areas, and one of the first demonstration area is our Dunker neighborhood, which is a social housing district with existing buildings. And for us there, it was really important that we create solutions. They will be cheap, because we are here in the sector of social housing, and it's important that the rent is not rising. So, and for this demonstration area, there should be the solar thermal plant built, but this was one of our challenge that because of the war, of COVID and other challenges, the solar thermal plant is not finished at the moment, but theoretical in the future, this thermal plant will give the heating energy, or the energy for heating, to this neighborhood. So it will be the Germany's largest solar thermal plant, which gives the energy directly in the district heating grid. Then we have our second demonstration area, which is our former cotton mill. There we have no civil tenants, much more artists and also companies. And here's especially important to say this building stock, this area is monument protected. So also here we could not, to save energy, we couldn't do isolation on the buildings. And our thinking was how we can use smart solutions to saving energies. And then we have our third demonstration area, which is our virtual energy district. So it's not a physical district, it's virtual, because we developed in Sparks in Leipzig a virtual power plant for the whole city. So they are in the virtual power plants, for example, are electricity producing plants like PV. Also the solar thermal plant will be part of the VPP, and also EV charging stations. So with this VPP, for example, we can stabilize the grid, the electricity grid, to manage the charging points in the grid. Our main objectives in the Sparks project from the Leipzig side was to demonstrate how we can develop PEDs in an existing building stock, because especially in Leipzig we don't have so much new buildings, we have much more old buildings which we want to use for the city, and also we have a lot of monument protected building stock. So then it was also for us important that we using the existing grid system, also for the virtual power plant. And then we also have the part of the e-mobility, where we wanted to demonstrate how bidirectional charging stations can stabilize the grid. And this was also a challenge during the project, because when we wrote the proposal, we thought, yeah, this would be a great idea to using the small cars to stabilize the grid. But when the project started, we realized that in the German market, we don't have cars. They have the bidirectional charging function. So we had the charging station, but no car. But with a great collaboration between BMW, we got a car, and because they already tested this. Yes, and for us, it was also really important that we include all stakeholders. So from the citizens to the local businesses. And it was not that easy to have all together and motivate everybody, but in the end it helps us a lot. And also now we have a great collaboration between all partners and all for further projects we are searching for. I would say our key innovations are from the perspective of the municipality. We created a digital twin for renewable energies. So, and this tool, so it's called our Energy Map Leipzig, and this tool helps us to see in what size, where are our potentials for renewable energies, and where is the current status of the expansion of renewable energies. So, we as a city now have a tool to see, okay, in which district we have to go in because the potentials are not used at the moment. And at the same time, we developed with different departments a standard model how to implement climate-neutral districts. So this was the part from the municipality side, and from our technical partners, I will highlight the dynamic heat control from our social housing company, because this dynamic heat control is really easy to implement. It don't cost so much money, and they have savings around 16% of their energy, which is, compared to how easy it's to install, really great. So, and this product will now replicate for the whole city for their building stock. And also they developed a new business model for electricity or tenant electricity model. It's typical German, I would say. So it's a business model how tenants can use the electricity from the roof. But during a study, the housing company realized this model is too complicated for them. And so they developed a new model, which is much more easier now for them to implement. Yeah, and also it was really important that we created the virtual power plant in the city, because now we have the base to implement much more PV installation, for example, in the power plant. Honestly, I would say we have had a lot of challenges, but I want to highlight some, because we always realize that we have the technical side is not a problem to realize. It's much more in Germany, especially in Germany, I think, the regulatory side, because we had really complex and innovative ideas. For example, we created a microgrid and a grid, and this was not that easy to implement with our grid operator, because from the regulatory side it was not allowed like we planned it. So, and this is also what we learned, that the regulatory side is the most challenging part in our smart city solutions. And the other challenge is also the user engagement and the acceptance. So it's not so easy to describe how that these smart city solutions which are using renewable energies, this is good for the people. And we have to learn a lot that we want to communicate such difficult topics, and that's the harder thing that the citizens understand the goal and the aim, because not everyone, I would say this here is a bubble. So, and a lot of other people, we have to take them with us on the path to climate neutrality. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. And finally, Asset Project, and I would like to invite Mohi from R2M, and she's the project manager and business developer running business models in this work package. I'm also involved as in the advisory board of this project. So it's a large implementation mission project, and implementation stage, I think, more or less already started. So we'll listen to Mohi. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Over the side. So, hello everybody. My name is Mohaddessa Maktabifard. I am from the French branch of R2M, and we are a partner at Ascent, where we have a few partners in the room as well, Cecilia from Cartif, for example. And what does Ascent stand for? It stands for Accelerate Positive Clean Energy Districts. So it started in the beginning of 2023. It finishes by the end of 2028. Our coordinator is SPL Lyon Confluence, based in Lyon in France. We have 8 demo areas for positive and clean energy districts, what we call PCEDs, and 39 partners, and overall about 24 million euros of budget. So what are the objectives? Create these PCEDs across Europe to mitigate the effects of climate change, obviously. Make cities healthier, smarter, and more sustainable and inclusive, so with a specific focus on clean. So going towards the cleaner way of producing energy, and also really in our cost-benefit analysis, we try to quantify how much is the effect of these innovations within the air quality, within the clean water system, etc. Deliver 2 PCEDs in the lighthouse cities of Lyon and Munich, and also bolster 6 PCEDs in our multiplier cities, or as we call it in our other projects, follower cities in Porto, Charleroi, Prague, Stockholm, Budapest, and Alba Iulia. So what are our key innovations, or how do we deliver these PCEDs? On the right, you can see our 6 solution packages. So we have 6 overall. They are there from technical and societal perspective, and then again being merged with business modeling and financing components on how to bring them to the market. And these solution packages are adopted obviously based on the type of cities we are dealing with to each of the contexts. So for example, we have digital infrastructure and ICT, deployment of energy communities and prosumer services, energy efficient buildings integrating RES, decarbonized mobility and freight, citizen-centered solutions, and urban orchestrator. What are the value propositions or impacts at the end of the project? I haven't included all the milestones to simplify. So we are hoping to have 2 large-scale PCEDs fully delivered by 2028, 6 solution packages validated by the market, including innovation in governance and PCED data platforms, a repository of the solutions, so basically the platform itself, a city investment plan, so relying on innovative financing schemes, really taking a step beyond the traditional financing schemes and business modeling generated by the SP implementation in our cities, specifically the mature ones, KPI engine, and innovative monitoring methodology to support PCD's implementation, and what we call as MCDA, City Multi-Criteria Decision Analysis Tool, which is there in order to bring, so as we continue to develop our city profiles, they are there in order to connect the solution packages to the right financing instruments and providers. What are our challenges? So I come from R2M, and we are very much focused on Work Package 5, which is on business modeling and financing schemes. So I was a bit biased here. I put all the challenges within the financing instrument landscape. So I would say insufficient financing instruments. Again, traditional instruments are not equipped. This leads to increasing reliance on private equity, resulting in higher financial costs and gap in equity capital. Lack of bankability assessment, difficulty to attract necessary investors, as projects lack documented business models and revenue streams, which further hinders their appeal to the investors. investors. So that's why we have a lot of expert trainings within Ascend in order to update the investors what are the current situation, what are the financial figures, what is the return on investment, so that they can come back to us with good tips. Weak financial capacities of city representatives. Well, I put it here because we have seen it in our other projects too. So let's talk about it. City representatives sometimes, not always, lack the financial expertise needed to structure funding scheme effectively. This deficiency is compounded by lack of interest from institutional investors. So basically, sometimes a partner may not be aware of what's happening in their finance department in their city. So that's the reason. And this really leads to us not having the financial figures, not knowing exactly what's going to happen in terms of operational costs in the next 2 years, so not being able to really present it to our investors and them not giving us a correct recommendation. And last one, need for innovative financing approaches. Current landscape lacks standardized and scalable models, which complicates investment. A more innovative and scalable and replicable innovative financing is needed. So that's it from me, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Mohi, for being so fast and also the very comprehensive presentation. So I would like to invite all the speakers, please, to sit here as another round table, but I assume it could be. So we will start the QA session and the networking session based on the project outcomes and challenges. Yeah. So now is the opportunity to discuss with the sister projects, the challenges you have identified, your best practices, etc. To the 4 questions that I'm gonna direct to you. So maybe I can just open all them all. Yes, so we have identified 4 questions on the economic, social, political and technical aspects of positive energy district developments in the cities. So the first question is, how have you engaged local communities in your PED projects, and what strategies have been most effective in gaining this support? Maybe I can also direct this to you to see. And the second question is, what economic models and funding mechanisms have proven successful in making your PED project financially sustainable? And the third question is about technical aspects. What technological innovation from your project has had the most impact on achieving positive energy balance? I've seen lots of examples from your presentations before. And the fourth one is, could you generate any policy recommendations based on the design or implementation of PEDs in your project? How should be the optimum political legal environment for encouraging PED development? That's also what we heard a lot from your presentations. So maybe we can start from the last presentation.
Yes, sure.
Mohi, you are, I think, more on the business model development part. So how would you like to answer the question?
I'd like to answer the one on economic models, and thank you very much, and funding mechanisms. So which ones have been proven successful? I also may look at my notes because I had a very late gala last night, so yeah, I need to reflect on it. So you asked us what are proven to be successful. Well, in Ascend, it's still a fairly new project, so we haven't really implemented it yet. We are, by implementing, I'm implementing the financial planning and business modeling. We are at that stage of collecting all these figures from the cities to know, okay, this is specific innovation on, let's say, charging electric vehicle, which is being a technology in Munich. So what are its capex, what is its opex, what is its return on investment, how much equity they are getting from where, draw your business model, etc. So my answer is not necessarily a success story, but mainly from experience in another project and also what we see in Ascend, so what I try to be predicting. So what are those? I think blended financing is of course one of them, really going beyond this traditional business modeling, having a more collaborative scheme between public and private sector. Green bonds, of course, we are starting to see really green bonds that are not really in a wide spectrum of, okay, apply for it if you are an energy transition project, but they really specify in their calls specific requirements for specific technologies that are in the domain of positive and energy district. And also SPVs, of course, as special purpose vehicles. The idea of pooling different PCD initiatives under this one umbrella really helps legally and also brings really new stakeholders to this table of business modeling. We have seen it in, for example, a project that we have together in Making City in Ulu, and I'm hoping to see it in Ascend as well.
Yeah, I think in the most, let's say, best practice will be from Ascend is this SPV.
Yes.
Most innovative approach. Let's see the results. Okay, thank you. Would you like to answer any other aspect?
The other one that I have in my cheat note is the policy recommendations.
Okay.
So again, in this one, I am being biased more towards the financing schemes. So I think having incentivizing banks, so offering tax credits, it's always, you know, making it attractive to regional, national, local banks in these cities that we mentioned to have calls for such project to support them locally. Promoting green bonds, to echo what I just said about them, and standardizing ESG ratings. So introducing such rating system in European level to assess project risks and performance, it would help. And again, co-investment funds. So something that is happening involving government, but also involving the private sector. So again, the collaboration between the two.
Okay, thank you. As an outcome of the project, maybe you will have this kind of reports.
Yes. We are hoping. Yes. So at the moment, we are collecting the city profiles where we really collect every information about the selected technology within their positive energy district to understand, okay, what are the financial figures? We are having a bit of difficulty to grab this information actually, and soon we will have our cost-benefit analysis that we can share with you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Then we will go with the questions afterwards, okay? Thank you. So maybe Julia, can I go on the sparks? How would you like to answer, and which question would you select?
Yeah, I think I will answer the first question because it's my personal aim to highlight the communities and also don't forget the citizens in the city to develop PEDs. And for us, it was not that easy at the beginning because we were the first stakeholder in one of the districts to engage people. So we didn't have an infrastructure or a stakeholder to collaborate, and we realized it's really, really hard to get in contact with the people. So also there were COVID, okay. So we must develop contactless communication, and also with people they are not like the digital ones like us because they were older, and also to realize personally I wanted to talk with them about sustainability and renewable energies, but this was not the aim of the person there. So, and this is the first thing, and also engaging people and engaging communities to think what is the aim of the people they are living there, and then make this topic to a highlighted topic, and then on the second way, then you can try to talk with them about sustainability. And we also create events, for example, like a children's cinema. So that the children came to us, and then we can talk with the parents, for example.
That's what we do also in several projects.
And this,
first,
yeah. And I think this is my personal best learning from the project. Simplify the communication. So talk really, in a grounded area, just in really low communication, really easy language, and also use, for example, videos. So to describe problems and describe the technical solution, because in this bubble we always talk about renewable energies, but not everybody understands it that way. So and we need a really clear and simple communication. Yes. This is what.
Also gamification games is also very trendy nowadays. Thank you. Would you like to also answer another thing, or?
Yeah, maybe from the economic side, I just want to say for a lot of people, also what we learned in the engagement process with the citizens, the first question was always, okay, this is a nice solution, but how much costs for me? So, and then we realized when we develop new business models and so on, the solution shouldn't be more expensive like the older ones, because then we don't have no acceptance for these new business models and solutions.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we go on with Lara. How do you see the questions? Which ones would you like to answer?
I think I'd like to stress a bit more on the economic side as well, since it's a crucial topic, I would say. We haven't, as the project just started a year ago, we haven't had the time to prove the innovative business models that we're actually going to test and develop. But the idea that we have in mind in our analysis, in our development, is to analyze the current business models that are there in the construction sector and see if there's some uncaptured value, as we are calling it, in these business models. So value that is currently not exploited, underutilized, for example, some data insights or energy efficiency measures that we are not using at their best. So that's what we have in mind, but currently under development.
Value is not standardized. That's a very correct approach. Okay, so anything else like?
And maybe I can stress a bit more on the technologies. So the most
technical part, since you have very digitalization part of the PEDs is promoted in your project.
Yes, exactly. But also, other than the digital part, also the hardware part. These are two intersecting. I mean, we have to focus on both aspects. There's not only one solution that fits all buildings, that is available and perfect for every building. Of course, we need to adapt to the situation of the building. If it's historical building, a new construction, depending on the location. But the holistic approach is the best way to approach this, the positive energy district, positive energy building problem.
I also witnessed this a lot, like standalone technologies, they do not identify actually post-financial district boundaries, because it's easy to implement just one technology, but the holistic approach, the systematic approach could be difficult, but has to be done for promoting post-financial districts. Thank you. And yeah, we go on with our sister project, Sanz. What would you like to answer?
I would like to answer also the first question, because since we are already in an early stage of the project, we are actually starting with the engagement of local communities, and we had a couple of workshops in our pilot in Scotland last week. So I would like to develop a bit more this point. So one of the things we consider key when trying to deploy these strategies to engage local communities was to involve all the actors of the value chain. This is not only involve citizens, but also when trying to design the solutions, involve the DSO, involve aggregators, other stakeholders, because what we usually find is that people, even if people sometimes are aware of the energy transition and want to be involved in these big chains, they sometimes are not that familiar with technical languages. So, for example, where we have like a technical background and we are familiar with the energy field, for us there are some things that are very evident, but it's not for them. So it's important, I think, like to involve all these actors together, and also to have into account the nature of all the pilots, because in this project, and also we've seen it in other projects, we are involved in pilots with very different background, social, economical aspects. So apart from the technical aspects, what I usually see is that it's way easier to involve people in this kind of initiatives when they're in a place with a more stable economy or society. So now in Interped we are, for example, in this phase of pilot characterization. I think it's important to have all these variables into account because not every pilot is the same. So it's important to find like solutions that are tailored to every context.
Yes, that's for sure for every project, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's like the local context is the main
Yeah.
issue to be analyzed first, and then to the barriers to be overcome. Yes.
Yeah, and try to make them closer to all the technical language, make them understand what we're trying to implement in a whole that trying to find a solution that fits with all the actors. Not only like that they, if citizens see, for example, that some solutions are only going to benefit the DSO, they lose the motivation. And also the other way, you have the constant discussion with the DSO because there are some things that citizens maybe would like to do, but they cannot implement in a technical way.
Yes. So you're right. You're right. So again, communications.
Yeah, very important.
Okay. Would you like to answer anything else, or?
Well, maybe just to remark in the last question that it's also important to transpose the European legislation to every country, because in terms of, well, in this case, if positive energy districts, but coming from the community energy, citizen energy communities, or renewable energy communities concept, when you look at every country, you find that each country has still like its own legislation and regulation. So it's difficult, especially in European projects, trying to align all this. And even if you try to find, as I said before, a tailored solution, it's the same project, so you need to find some elements in common. Yes. So I would insist in this transposition of the legislation, and also, again, it's important to involve citizens to provide financial mechanisms.
Do you also have kind of these deliverables at the end of the project for policy recommendations or manifesto that also Chinchín mentioned in the PEDs?
Yeah, well, as I said, one of the aims of the project is to find follower communities that are able to replicate the project in different contexts, and also we have deliverables focused on validation of the solution we have created. So this will come in a later stage.
So cannot wait to see the results. Okay, and yes, Cecilia, what do you think?
Maybe linking with the policy recommendations, something like to regulation, maybe not commenting not only the transposition of the European Commission, but the European directives, but maybe other lacks of regulation that we have identified maybe during the execution of the project, or the thinkings, maybe not directly with the Make It City, but the links with PET. And in this question that energy sharing and energy flexibility for the PET, for achieving the positive MET, maybe the possibility of giving to others the surplus on this exchange of energy. It's through peer-to-peer energy trading or through energy communities, wherever you could be the tool. This is a lack of regulation at this moment of your panel, so it should be created something to allow us to go further this technical question that is solved technically. That could be tools, many tools have been deployed for allowing or for sharing it, but finally at the end we have a regulatory problem with it. Yeah. So it's something that, okay, maybe
technology is there.
Yeah, technology is there, the interest of the people is there, because it's something that we have been able as community, it was not our objective in Make It City, for example. We have used energy cooperatives, but we have not deployed energy communities at Sanz. It was too early for us, maybe, but now I see that the people want. We have been able to raise the interest, but we cannot solve it from regulatory point of view, not technically. We have there, we can use the grid, or we could create a microgrid that you want there in Leipzig, but we can do it. And this is one question, maybe for the future, introduce the future challenges. And for citizens, okay, thinking the children are very good point for deploy our interest in the community. But for example, in Groningen, we have used, I don't know if it's local ambassadors or whatever, the people that work in the energy cooperative, but to try to to collect the interest of the people to renovate their homes and to be integrated in the energy community. Used people from the neighborhood as ambassadors for this communication. So, in fact, when they did this communication days or whatever, used the people that lives there, wanted to be involved, and in fact retrofit their homes. So this communication from the experience for how they have now they live with these new equipments or the retrofitting, or how easy it has been done for them is a very good point for allowing others to implement the same.
Yeah, I would like to emphasize that actually the cooperative is also a partner in the project.
Yeah,
so
sure.
That's a very, opportunity, very huge opportunity.
It's maybe two stages. The cooperative is a part of the projects, and the people
Yeah,
from the
it's
cooperative
so high.
is people from the neighborhood. So it's something that has been very useful. And in fact, we had achieved more interest than possibilities for the project. So it has been very, very important, and also, of course, the municipality was there.
From the beginning.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That's a big opportunity. Thank you. And we go with the palette changes.
Yes.
What question would you like to focus on?
Well, last one, you already have a lot of pressure. I don't have anything to add because they already have really good experience already. I would like to have very short answers to probably the technology side and also policy side. For the technology, I think we're lacking or we're behind of sort of AI, powered, transition. Because if you look compared to the other cities in for instance in Singapore or the other cities or in Japan, so they have been already engaged a lot of AI tools. So which means, of course, AI tools are based on this, data sets are based on the ICT infrastructures. So we're lack of that. So we are really behind of that equipment. So from a technology point of view, so the AI is missing in most of the projects. I mean, we see a lot of AI algorithms like to optimize, but this is the only thing that we found in the most European projects, like try to optimize, by the AI algorithms, but nothing really left. So mostly we see in European that for AI applications for the healthcare, nothing really for the energy transition. So that's a big gap we've found at the moment. And of course, that will link to the policy side because of the GDPR issues and other, regulation that hasn't been ready yet. And when I think about the policy side, I always question myself also why we think always it's hard to promote PED or carbon neutral city. Why always we feel that it's difficult to engage citizens. Of course, I mean, this is a really hard question, but it could be a simple way. There's no clear answer. There's no clear regulation on that, right? If you talk about the energy efficient building or zero energy building, there's definition over there. There's a clear guidance over there. There's regulation standards over there, and it's easier, of course, to talk to people. And we, as a researcher, sometimes when people ask us, "What is PED? Why are you working on PED?" We're questioning ourselves. I don't know. It's because we are being forced or pushed to do that. The top level set up some goals, and then nothing else. All right, and then let us do or play around. So, and we're struggling on that, and that's why we cannot give clear answer to the stakeholders. That's why they cannot be motivated. They even laughed at this idea, right? So, I mean, back to a few years ago, they don't really care about this concept. So this is something I wanted to highlight. From the European level, even to the national level or community level, it's necessary to have its own regulation as soon as possible to define what is PED and add more constraints, to current situation. Because with that constraints, we can get PED beneficial economically and also environmentally beneficial. If you want to promote PED, we all know that it's economic point. It's not possible, right? It's not necessary even to do that. But compared with the current energy infrastructures or tariffs, it's no need to do that because the constraint hasn't been ready yet, right? If you talk to the investors, come on, you have to waste probably more than 10 years, then you can get something back. Yeah. That's not good for them, right? I can put my money on the back, that's it. There's no risk. So that's the problem here. So,
do you think that AI also is needed for modifying the living environment? updating?
I definitely is needed, but more than, of course, modify, improve the living environment. I think it's something that we should, at least at the European level, should consider a lot about how really to accelerate this process. I mean, I don't mean every sectors, but could it be like in transportation, they already have a lot of AI applications. If you see the control of the traffic jams, but for the energy sector, it's really, really nothing really yet in European level. So, yeah. So that's one of my feedback.
Thank you.
Can you please come up on the front because the online participants
They don't see you.
didn't see you.
Oh.
You were not in the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we
We also need here for changing space. Okay. So thank you very much, and for the questions and networking part, let's say. And I would like to just, finalize with one question to all of you, but to answer just in a minute, okay, in a very quick question. So based on your project and what we have shared today, in the context of the empowering cities through positive energy districts, strategies and implementation. So what do you see as the big next opportunity or challenge for pets in Europe? Actually, this is changing also. Already started answering this question a bit, criticizing a bit. So Cici, if you'd like to add anything, just let me know. If not,
yes. Maybe just one thing about the opportunity. Of course, it's a new step for us to improve our life, quality of life. So we can implement many new technologies which are already, advancing at the moment. So it's quite a really a good opportunity for us. So I think that's what is the challenge. The challenge, I think, in reality, it's the data. That's what I wanted to highlight, because everything now, whatever you do, simulation, planning, optimization, everything is based on data, or even AI, of course. So everything is based on data. If you don't resolve this problem from even the structural point of view or regulation point of view, nothing will happen really so quick in the next few decades. So we were really back on that.
thank you. So how can we empower pets?
Yeah.
Opportunities.
No, I think, regulation is a challenge, sure. Should be moved. Yeah. But I think involve the people is it how, it's an opportunity for pet. I think a pet is another more tool for going further in our cities. So, in fact, the citizens are there. So I think this is the challenge, how involve them, how go into their language and go up for the knowledge. But I think it's the challenge we have at this moment. Okay. If they are involved, they want to invest and they want to improve the home.
So it can be like challenge and opportunities together.
Yeah, sure.
For people. Okay, thank you. And Lorena.
Yeah, well, we already mentioned the regulation, and I already mentioned what just Cecilia said about trying to make the language more accessible for everyone to understand. I have to say that I don't totally agree with what you said before at why we are doing this. I think we can know why we are doing this, and we can let people know too. I mean, it's true that the big push is due to a European regulation, but I think the main motivation is because we want to change some things and we want to improve how some systems are working now. Well, maybe this is going to sound a bit pretentious, but to make work better in the end, no? So maybe it's important, like, to communicate this main reason to people in order to get them involved so that they can see that this is something that affects everyone. It's not something for only regulators or DSO or people that are very interested in ecology. So I think it's something key, like to involve everyone.
Biggest opportunity.
Yeah, and to provide that motivation, maybe.
Yes, thank you. And Lara.
Maybe now I'm using both microphones. Okay. I'm a bit biased here on the challenges because in my project we mostly focus on constructions, so on the building, not on PED. So for me, the biggest challenge is the need for renovation throughout Europe. and the presence of historical buildings. Even if we cover all roofs with PV panels, this is not going to be enough. Like, we need to take into account the thermal capacities and the thermal insulation of buildings that cannot be changed, need to be improved. So this takes a lot of money that maybe not the financial stability, and the business models are not there yet to.
So retrofitting of the existing building stock. Okay. Yeah, Julia.
Yeah.
As a city.
As a city, yeah. From Jim. I think for us as a city, it's much more the planning. So because, for example, Leipzig has to go to be climate neutral until 2040, and the time is running. So, and there are a lot of transition there, not only renewable energy transition or energy transition, is also a mobility transition we are handle with, and also a climate change adaptation challenge. So we see it each summer, each winter, there are floods, there are heats, and we have to combine all these plannings together and to integrate them together, and have also common databases and common models together to collaborate together in the city with all the stakeholders, with the energy supplier, with the grid operator, with the mobility sector. And I think this is also important for cities to come much more in an active role for renewable energy and climate adaptation to moderate this process much more. And this is really important, and what we also learned now in Sparks. We had our final event some weeks ago, and there were this buzzword collaboration, and sometimes you think, oh, again, collaboration, but now it's this is the point. We have to collaborate. Everybody have to. We need a strong collaboration together, because nobody can do this alone. So, and I think this is also a mind change in the transition. And yeah, then also we need much more simply regulatory. I think in Sparks we had some innovative ideas, but on the law side, we couldn't do this. So, and we have to simplify the regulatory side.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So yes, to answer this question, I divided into two sections. So first opportunity, and then I'll go to challenge. In terms of opportunity, I may also echo your word and the word of our coordinator in ASCEND, Philippe Fournat, that a European project is a collaborative project. And what I think about it, I think it's like a lab of, okay, let's test on how things will go, and then try to replicate it and upscale it. And in these European projects, we mostly have a wide spectrum of stakeholders. During our workshops, we reach the citizens, but also on the other hand, we have developers, we have universities, living labs, institutions, financial experts are supposed to help us in these expert trainings, etc. So that's why collaboration is very important. When we come together in this lab, really, let's use this. Let's use all these opportunities that led us to come here, talk together. And a lot of times we are misunderstood, I think, simply because obviously in today's world we are not expert in a lot of things. We are just expert in our domain. So when you talk legally, I have no idea. So it's very important to really use communication skills to simplify things and say, this thing that I'm talking about means this, and I need this from you. And that's, I think, how really a new door will open. Really, we can see, okay, what is the situation, where is my role, and how I can contribute to it. Yeah. So this was the opportunity, and in terms of challenge, I think monetizing qualitative benefits is one of the challenges I'm also facing within ASCEND project. I think it is very important because, as for example, we are doing the cost-benefit analysis in ASCEND. If we can really monetize, say, okay, by using this electric car sharing technology in Munich, look, stakeholders, you get this much really revenue in 10 years. then it will really activate them. Like that is when they're like, okay, this may work and may
numbers and
exactly. And I am actually, we are having discussions in order to find out, okay, how we can do it, how we can make our cost-benefit analysis more complete, in order to convince more stakeholders.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, as closing remarks, I really appreciate your time and your experience sharing today and knowledge sharing as well from your projects at different stages like planning, we have seen design stages, implementation, operation stages as well. So, thank you so much for your, and I also see a big opportunity here for a collaborative, publication or something after this event. We can also talk about it later.
Sure.
So, and now I would like to take any questions from the audience.
Thank you very much. Emilio Miguel Mitre. I'm with Making City, with LEGOFIT as well. I'm also now leading the, or chairing the business models and financing task group of Scalable Cities, which is the overarching structure of the Lighthouse projects, SEC01. What we have here is a very serious structural problem, and you have been defined it very well. The 4 questions address the typical issues we tackle from the technical side, but in the end, it is the cities who need to do the job, and you are going to find the treasurer of the city or the financial officer, and you are going to find the politicians, and the whole thing is not really going to work. The work we are doing in Scalable Cities is very aimed to the idea Moy was expressing. Either we change the way people appreciate the value of sustainable building, or we will not be able to do anything. And Moy has expressed it in a very clear way. We need to monetize co-benefits. These things are not into the accounting right now. So if we don't do that, we can go on doing a technical push and improving the instruments, the tools, the mechanisms, and so on, but nothing will really happen. We are facing a huge selfishness from people, and that is the question. How much is this going to cost me? And how much would it cost if we don't do this in terms of climate disaster, you name it? So I think monetizing the real value of sustainable building should be the absolute key thing, and the cities should lead the way in that. This is my view. We don't have the cities. I mean, we do have the cities somehow, but in the 4 questions, we are missing the cities. But as you can see, there's a severe structural problem. We do not have enough collaboration. We use a technical jargon that is ununderstandable, etc. So technical innovations are wonderful, but they are so expensive that it is just not going to happen. Some of the most important things are not even in the panorama. Dealing with how water is used in cities in such an absurd way, or naturation of cities, which is essential, especially in the south. Okay, so money is something that in the end everybody understands, so if we can monetize the co-benefits, we'll have something. Before that, and if we have a very broad agreement on the value, on the true value of sustainable building, but we don't have that yet, so I suggest we work a lot on that. Thank you.
Which is very difficult to monetize as well. Yeah. Well, how much does it cost?
We can't go on saying how good this is and so on until everybody agrees that a kilowatt hour saved by improving a home has much more value than a kilowatt hour of any type of efficiency. This is my proposal. So
you're right. How much does it cost if you don't do this to your health? Like, to your well-being.
Exactly, but that is not in the account. If that was in the account, the risk of inaction, if we don't do things, it is going to cost us much more. Of course, if we don't do things, it is going to be a much bigger business for many for many companies, because they will make a business of solving the problem they and we have created.
Yes, you're right. Okay, thank you. And second question?
I will be much shorter. My name is Monique, because I know we're separating from the lunch. So just a very quick question. First of all, congratulations. I've learned a lot of very interesting things. I have more of an ICT background. And my question here is, especially in relation to reducing costs, how much have you used, or are you looking at open source software and open source hardware in your projects? Can you say maybe a few words about this?
Who would like to? Maybe operation stage is better.
Maybe not in this project, in the Sparks project, because they were not focused on, but in another project we are having in the city of Leipzig. It's a German project called CUT, Connected Urban Twins, and there we are focusing on using open source tools also for digital twins, for example. And I think this is also the one. We have to do it like this because as cities we don't have the time that we all have the same goal and we have all the same problems and challenges. So, and we have to collaborate again. So, and there I think open source software and open source data sets, etc., are one of the biggest benefits. And we have to also collaborate with other cities. And to share the knowledge and to share the data and to share the software. So because we don't have the time.
Yeah, in both cities, that has, in our both lighthouse cities, relating if he have used open software, I couldn't answer this question, sorry. But all of the data collected in the demos are available for the public through their urban platforms. Not maybe linked in Groningen, linked with their urban platform. They have a specific platform for collected data, and the more important KPIs are in the urban platform. In the case of Oulu is open source platform based on the technological partner that could be PTT, but it's open to everybody how it's working, the different devices, how are producing in the demo, and how is the flows between them relating energy. So if they have been done open source software or not, sorry. But yeah, it's open for this. We have collected there and should be useful. And in Groningen also can be connected with other services that could be provided by external companies. In Oulu is more for informing. In this school, the screens, everybody can see how it's working it.
I'll be short. Yes, we are using open source tools. We do a lot of simulation. Either we use Energy Plus or City Energy Analyst, which is also developed by the ETH Switzerland. The reason that we choose City Energy Analyst is because it's open source, and then we can add the different components as we want in the system, at the system level. That's something really valuable to different contexts. If you have different consistent components, waste heat, or district heating, so then you can edit your own coding over there. So it's yeah. Thanks.
Thank you. Do we have any questions from the online participants? Esra, did you say any? No. So I also asked yes.
I have a question to Shinshin. You said that AI is still missing in the tools that we are using for PED transitioning. What are the latest trends in artificial intelligence that we can utilize in this domain?
latest chance.
Latest models, latest trends in AI.
Well, I think mostly we're now using quite a lot of natural processing language. So that's the only thing that we're working on, at least in a PEDs project. Just try to abstract, most important elements. Of course, there are much more AI-powered algorithms. So we're like reinforcement learning. So first, that's one example to further enhance the control. So that's something we should pay more attention on a lot of digital twin models, because once we're now talking a lot about digital twins, they're not actually digital twins. They're only digital models, right? So you have to differ from that. Digital twins have 3 steps. The final step is the control. You have to use the models or monitor data from the digital models and then back to the real objective to control that. So how to control the last step is the key part. We haven't achieved that part because we lack of the infrastructure and the data. We don't have really applied AI on that step. So it's still at the digital models level, most projects. I'm not crazy to ask yours, but so that's the current status. So there's many algorithms we can consider, to be further applied, as I mentioned just now.
Thank you. Any other comments, questions? Yes, of course.
Hello, thank you for all of the fascinating presentations in here and all the comments from the audience. I have a question about the scalability of these PEDs in your projects. How did you deal with them, or you're foreseeing them after your lighthouse projects? Yeah, that's it.
Yes, sir. You could answer. Sorry. Yeah. Now, in all of our cities, not only the lighthouses, also the followers, we have studied the possibility of, we have identified local aspects, the possibility of solutions. In fact, I could say that a PET properly, as we have deployed in the project, without the external funding, couldn't be feasible. Just is replicable, and in fact, some of the solutions have been replicable in the cities. So in fact, the one from Oulu has been implemented in another building. Altogether, for achieving the positiveness of the district, not, but for achieving the positiveness of the building, or to decrease the consumption, or to involve more citizens, yes. So separately, yes. And the intention from other cities to implement, also the intention identification, but the funding for these follower cities have not been reached. So it's difficult like this. But separately, yes, it's a tool that you have this.
Sorry if I may add this.
Yes, sure.
Thank you very much. Now I answer regarding Making City, where we are also a partner. Yes, exactly, the funding. So for example, our lighthouse cities in Making City, it was the EU funding that struck the match and let it start. So let's say, for example, Oulu has done it. So how about Tampere, another city in Finland that wants to do it? In Making City, we developed a financial toolbox together where we explain, okay, what are the financial instruments that are being used, or they are very a good fit to be used for a positive energy district with this criteria. So if you have these features, if you check these ones, we guide you towards this type of instrument, or a collective, a basket of instruments. And then they can, compare their district in Tampere with Oulu and say if it is really a good fit, they can select a few of those instruments, and those instruments will guide them to the right financial provider. That can be a private bank or a European funding, etc. So crowdfunding, public-private partnership. It's really depending on the type of innovation that they have in their positive energy district, because we saw that, for example, if it's a retrofitting for public building, another set of instruments may work better in comparison to smart lighting, for example. And these deliverables are all accessible via the Making City platform website.
Thank you. So
If no other questions, I'm going to close the session. Thank you so much, everyone, for your participants, and thank you so much for our sister projects of post-Finnish districts, and I hope to collaborate soon again. Thank you. Thank you. Can we have a